It was a peaceful morning in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traoré was in his office reviewing critical documents on the progress of local policies when his assistant, Marie, rushed into the room. "Mr. President," she said, clearly anxious, "you need to see this immediately." Traoré looked up from the report he was studying, curious about the unusual urgency in Marie's voice. "What happened?" he asked. Marie handed him a tablet displaying a live broadcast from a press conference in the United States. Barack Obama, the former U.S. president, was on stage discussing global leadership and the changes the world must face. But what caught Traoré's attention was completely unexpected. Obama had directly mentioned Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, Obama declared, his voice resonating through the crowded auditorium, is a powerful example of how small nations can drive significant transformations. Under the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré, the country is demonstrating that self-reliance and dignity are not just ideals but attainable goals. Traoré's heart skipped a beat. He never anticipated hearing his name spoken by Barack Obama, especially in such a positive context. He kept watching the broadcast, trying to absorb the words echoing through the room. Traoré has turned away from traditional models of foreign aid, Obama continued, and is building a future founded on mutual respect and belief in the capabilities of his own people. That is what true leadership looks like. The audience erupted in warm applause as visuals of projects led by Traoré appeared on screens behind the former American president. Images showed farmers cultivating reclaimed land, children studying in newly constructed schools, and young scientists developing innovative solutions for local challenges, offering international viewers a glimpse of Burkina Faso's progress. Traoré slowly lowered the tablet, still stunned. "I didn't expect that," he murmured, shaking his head in disbelief. Marie beamed with excitement. "Mr. President, this is incredible. The entire world is witnessing the impact of your leadership." But Traoré remained silent for a moment, reflecting deeply on the significance of those words. He realized the statement wasn't just about him, it was about the people of Burkina Faso, who worked tirelessly each day to shape a better future. "Marie," he said finally, "we must respond, but not with pride or arrogance, only with gratitude and humility." Marie nodded, already beginning to coordinate the next steps. She understood this would be a defining moment for both the president and the nation. Meanwhile, across the globe, Obama concluded his address with a direct message to Traoré. "Ibrahim," he said, looking straight into the cameras, "if you're watching, know that your bravery inspires many of us. Keep proving to the world that Africa does not need to be rescued, it needs to be respected." Obama's statement quickly went viral on social media, sparking widespread discussions on sovereignty, self-reliance, and Africa's place in the global landscape. Hashtags like #respect for Africa and #leadership with dignity spread rapidly, emphasizing the significance of policies rooted in community empowerment. Back in Burkina Faso, Traoré continued to reflect on Obama's remarks. He knew this moment represented more than personal praise, it was international acknowledgement of Burkina Faso's chosen path. "Marie," he said after a pause, "organize a press conference for tomorrow. We must show the world that these policies aren't about me, they're about our people." Marie nodded again, already assembling the necessary arrangements. She knew how crucial this opportunity would be. The next day, following Barack Obama's remarks, Ibrahim Traoré convened a press conference at the presidential palace to address the global attention Burkina Faso had received. The room brimmed with both local and foreign journalists, all eager to hear the president's reaction. Traoré stepped onto the stage wearing traditional Burkina Faso, visible testament to his connection with the nation's cultural heritage. He opened his speech with calm resolve. "Yesterday," he began, meeting the audience's gaze, "Mr. Barack Obama spoke of our country in a way that left me truly speechless." The room fell completely quiet, every listener hanging on his words. "I didn't expect to hear my name from someone of such stature," Traoré continued. "But what moved me most was not the personal recognition, it was the acknowledgement of our people's collective efforts." He then unveiled an ambitious new initiative designed to build on the progress already underway, the Sovereign Future Program. The initiative's goal was to empower local communities to create sustainable, homegrown solutions without dependency on foreign intervention. "This program," Traoré explained, "isn't merely about governance, it's about proving we can support ourselves. More importantly, it's about showing the world that Africa doesn't need saving, it needs to be respected." Many in the audience, especially local journalists, greeted the announcement with enthusiastic applause. However, some international correspondents expressed skepticism, raising pointed questions. "Mr. President," a French reporter asked, "how does Burkina Faso intend to implement these initiatives without external funding? Isn't this a risky approach?" Traoré smiled before answering. "Everything we do involves risk," he said, "but the greatest risk would be accepting help that undermines our dignity. We are investing in the potential of our people, and I believe they will not let us down." His response was widely shared on social media, sparking intense discussions about sovereignty and sustainable development. The conversation highlighted the importance of public policies focused on empowering local communities. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Traoré's team was already putting the plan into action. The Minister of Agriculture held meetings with community leaders to identify the areas in most need, while Maritha dedicated social worker coordinating the efforts visited villages to listen to the concerns of local farmers. "This is going to change everything," said an elderly farmer during one of her visits. "Finally, we will have the chance to cultivate our land and feed our families." Marie smiled, touched by the reactions of the people. She understood that this was more than just a political project, it was a real chance to transform lives. Barack Obama's remarks about Ibrahim Traoré soon had international ripple effects. His message of respect and recognition for Burkina Faso's self-sufficiency resonated with world leaders, civil society movements, and ordinary citizens alike. The image of an African country driving its own development, without relying on external aid, sparked debates about how similar models could be replicated in other nations. In the United States, reactions to Obama's speech were divided. Some of the former president's supporters praised his remarks for showcasing positive global leadership, while others criticized the notion that African nations could thrive without foreign assistance. During a live interview, one political analyst expressed admiration for the Burkina leader. "Traoré is showing us something many have forgotten," the commentator said, "that real leadership isn't about imposing solutions, it's about empowering people to find their own." Meanwhile, in Africa, Traoré's approach was widely celebrated. Leaders in other countries began to develop similar initiatives, tailored to their specific national contexts. In Nigeria, for instance, a group of young activists launched a campaign called Value Your People, raising funds to support rural communities and launching sustainable local projects. Back in Burkina Faso, Traoré continued to receive updates on the progress of the Sovereign Future program. In one small rural village, he met a woman named Fatou who had directly benefited from the initiative. She was now teaching carpentry to other women in her area. "Before, I could hardly feed my children," she said during an interview with a local news outlet. "Now, I'm helping other women build a better future. It's all thanks to President Traoré." The moment was widely shared online, further reinforcing Traoré's reputation as a visionary leader. The conversations emphasized the need for public policies that prioritize community-based solutions. Behind the scenes, Traoré's administration continued working tirelessly. The Minister of Agriculture developed partnerships with local universities to provide technical training for farmers, while Marie made sure families had access to essential services like clean water and electricity. "We're just getting started," Traoré said during a team meeting, "but the signs of change are already visible. And this change isn't just economic, it's social, cultural, and above all, human." Observing this progress, a journalist quietly jotted in his notebook, "Today in Burkina Faso, I saw the future of an Africa that cherishes its history, honors its heroes, and builds bridges of dignity for all." Fatou walked slowly toward the Innovation Center, her heart full of mixed emotions. She had traveled for hours from Bobodua, carrying not only her suitcase but the memory of her mother, Marie, who had always dreamed of seeing her daughter achieve something greater. When she arrived, she encountered a scene she never imagined, a gathering celebrating the milestones of the Sovereign Future program. Marie was there just as Traoré had described, tears flowing down her face as she coordinated the final touches of the ceremony. Malik, the boy who once battled a fever in a temporary clinic, now wore a fresh sweater and stood beside her, smiling and holding a display board filled with photos of local initiatives. Ibrahim Traoré stepped onto the stage, visibly moved when he saw Fatou enter. He walked over and gently extended his hand. "Welcome," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You are living proof that we're building something greater than ourselves." Fatou nodded, struggling to hold back tears. "My mother always believed this day would come," she said, clutching an old book that had belonged to her mother. Inside the cover, a simple phrase was written: "Knowledge is the greatest inheritance we can leave." Traoré smiled, deeply moved by the sentiment. He understood this wasn't merely a memory, it was a powerful reminder that even small acts of hope and kindness could drive profound change. During his official address, Traoré spoke directly to the hearts of everyone in the room. "Today," he began, his voice resonating throughout the hall, "we are not gathered here simply to discuss figures or policies. We are here to honor the people who have built this country with their hands and their minds. You are the true foundation of Burkina Faso." He then turned his attention to Barack Obama, even though the former president wasn't present. "Mr. Obama," he said, facing the cameras, "your words left me speechless. But I want you to know they weren't just about me, they were about every citizen of Burkina Faso who is fighting every day to build a brighter tomorrow." The audience applauded warmly as images of thriving farmers, children studying in renovated schools, and young scientists creating innovative solutions appeared on the screen. Fatou was invited to the stage to speak. She paused briefly, gathering her courage. "My mother always taught me to fight for our dreams," she said, holding up her mother's book. "And today, Thanks to this center, I know I can fulfill her dream too. I want to use what I've learned to help our people grow more food and take better care of the land." The crowd broke into applause and Traoré hugged Fatou warmly. He understood that this was the real success of the project, inspiring the next generation to cherish their land and shape their own future. A journalist observing the moment quietly wrote in his notebook, "Today in Burkina Faso I saw the future of an Africa that treasures its history, honors its heroes, and builds bridges of dignity for all." Meanwhile, in the United States, Obama watched the live broadcast with increasing admiration. During a live interview, he was once again asked about Traoré. "This guy is something special," Obama said, catching the audience off guard. "He's showing that real leadership means listening to your people and acting with humility." Obama's words were widely circulated, strengthening the message that sincere leadership and acts of kindness could connect people across continents. Back in Burkina Faso, Traoré continued his work of transformation. While visiting a small rural village, he met a child named Mamadou who had received school uniforms and supplies made possible through land reform efforts. "Mr. President," the child said, her voice trembling with emotion, "this is for you. I wanted to show you that we are using what we've been given to learn." Traoré smiled, clearly moved. "You don't owe anything to us, Mamadou," he replied. "You are showing that when people are given the right tools, they can but achieve anything."